This is a three-part guide to TMC's clean-top optical table setup. We will review the handling of the optical top and the gimbal piston isolation system. In Part 1, we'll demonstrate the 780 series clean-top optical top and the 4-post gimbal piston isolation system with tie bars. We'll unpack, handle, plumb, and set up a 48 by 96 by 12 inch thick optical top on isolation legs. The setup is similar for other size optical tops. If you have a custom configuration, TMC has supplied a drawing showing the general arrangement. Exercise care when handling these products. Tops can weigh from 500 to 4,000 pounds depending upon size and thickness. The leg system weighs a few hundred pounds. These items should be handled with a fork truck or adequate dolly. Unpacking instructions are attached to the outside of the optical top crate. All TMC wooden crates are stamped to indicate they have been heat treated to allow for safe export overseas. If there are additional questions, consult the TMC setup guide available on the website or contact TMC directly. Clean top, optical top, and isolation frame ship in two different boxes. First, we'll identify the smaller cardboard box that contains the isolation legs. If this is a standard catalog leg system, the last two digits indicate the length of tie bar that will be used between the legs in both the long and short direction. In this case, the short dimension will be 30 inches and the long dimension 50 inches. The 50-inch tie bar is made by bolting a 20-inch and a 30-inch end-to-end. More on this when we assemble the tie bars. To break the banding, tin snips are the best tool. Exercise caution. The System 1 box contains 4 isolator legs, tie bars, a bag of hardware, and some paperwork. The legs are positioned in the box so that the slave leg is located in the back right corner. This is the leg with the filter mounted to it. The remainder of the legs have their own control valve with pressure gauge. We will maintain this orientation throughout the entire assembly process. If your application has an eccentric payload, contact TMC to discuss other plumbing arrangements. Lastly, in the box is warranty information which should be completed and returned to TMC. The hardware bag contains a length of 1/4-inch tubing, 3 control valve arms, tubing, tees and fittings, tubing hangers, a setup guide, and fasteners for attaching the tie bars to the legs. If the system requires tie bars to be bolted end-to-end, then a spacer and bolts are included. Legs can be removed and rough positioned where they will be located on your floor. Please consider that moving the system after it is assembled can be difficult if you don't have the optional internal casters. Exercise care when determining where the table system will be located in your facility. From the bag of hardware, we will soon be using the tie bar spacer and the small hex head bolts. Save the rest of the items for the plumbing and the valve setup. Next, we will assemble the long set of 50-inch tie bars by bolting together a 20-inch and a 30-inch end-to-end. Align the tie bars, insert the spacer, and tighten the 2 bolts connecting the two. The flange on the end of the tie bar should flex a little, indicating the bolts are tightened properly. If any portion of this is unclear, contact TMC for assistance. Note that for other table sizes there are different tie bar length configurations. Here is a chart showing the combinations that are typically used. The tie bars can be bolted to the inside faces of the legs, typically in the upper position. There are 2 hex head bolts for each end. A ratchet drive is best for tightening these fasteners. The system should make a rectangle once assembled. This concludes Part 1, Handling of the Optical Top and the Gimbal Piston Isolation System.